Hello, Gobs, and welcome back to another story. No, not another story. Welcome back to RPG Stories. I am fresh off the press of a failed episode. I hope it's up by now. I don't know when it's going. It's definitely going up before this video. But I'm coming fresh off of this, so hopefully I can read better this time. Go check it out so you can understand the context of this intro. But we are reading RPG horror stories, okay? I would read regular stories, but I haven't found any yet, nor am I looking. The RPG Glory Story subreddit isn't really active, and I guess I don't really find those stories entertaining too much. I mean, I did enjoy the ones that were left in my YouTube comments that I read one episode. It's another shout out to another video. RPG Horror Stories by You has me pointing at the thumbnail and everything. Go check it out too. Besides that, we're just reading horror stories. I'm going on the RPG Horror subreddit. Here it is. Go check it out. And I am going to be giving advice on said horror stories, or hopefully. Remember, read the disclaimer at the beginning, and I have another disclaimer. These may or may not be real. Even if they are fake, or if it is fake, they still make good stories to give advice on. I am the Goblin King. I upload all sorts of RPG content and a myriad of other contents on my channel, on my channel, so click my name, go check out the trailer, and let's get into today's episode. Oh yeah, if you have your own story, check out my social media in the description. I do have my own subreddit. You can either share it to that subreddit or put it on the subreddit, and I'll most likely read it on this channel. Now let's actually get into the title. Our first story is extra long, supposedly. I don't know. I can't getting just overlooking. I can't tell actually how long it might be. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. But our first story comes from Zevren Mahiriel. So in one word, you see it on screen. If I butchered it, well, you should expect that from me by now. Be careful what you wish for, because the DM might be a piece of... It's like ad-libs. Just fill it in with your own not derogatory. Don't do that. Fill it in with your own hurtful. No, wait. No. Just, you know what? Just ad-lib it. Just have fun. Just fill it in with whatever word you want. Let me know in the comments. I just finished a long campaign, and boy, was it a doozy. So much went from wrong in it that I almost don't know where to begin. But first things first. This was a long campaign hosted in a West Marches style Discord server, and it was the first long campaign that the DM had ever done. The main plot of the campaign: to find a tower that grants wishes. This is a tier 2 campaign. The PCs are level 8 and 9 by the end, so getting a wish is a pretty big deal. What does that mean, a tier 2 campaign? It must be something related to the West Marches. So if you play in West Marches, let me know in the comments. You're going to hear me say that. I don't know why I've been saying that so much, but if you know what a tier 2 campaign for a West Marches server is, or if you just know what a tier 2 is, I'm assuming it's like the level that the campaign ends at. So tier 1's probably like 5, I guess, and then the tier 2 is like level 10, or like they said, 8 or 9. I guess that's what I'm assuming. I don't know. I'll just let someone else explain it to me. It's only near the end that we find out that only one person can get a wish. At the final battle, we get told that we can't win against the BBG. We have to run away. One player is killed in combat, and another was already dead in a previous encounter leading up to the tower. At this final fight, there's a door opening to the next chamber, but it was opening slowly, and only a tiny creature could get through at that round. Druid turned into a cat and goes through, wanting to prepare Revivify when the rest get there with the dead guy's body. Except the door's shut, and now the scene only follows the Druid, who is uncomfortable after realizing this was the end. And the Druid runs to go make a wish that their allies would be safe and have their own wishes granted too. The DM has the scene cut to white and ends the session there, right after the wish. No resolution for the other players? Nothing. Then spends a day coming up with a horrible epilogue, which includes All the other party members other than Druid are basically dead and in purgatory. Yes, even the ones that didn't die in combat the last time we saw them. One of the party members, a tiefling, was sold to Zariel and branded as property on his arm. Yes, precisely plagiarizing Karlach. It should be noted that this tiefling character is also a black-coded character, and the DM did not get explicit consent from the player to do this to the PC. I'm pretty sure none of this falls under "I want my allies to be safe," but DM basically said, "You didn't specify the bodies had to be safe," as an answer. Oh my gosh, are we really going that route? Is this a genie? I'm holding my head. I'm gonna hold it back. I'm not gonna do like last video where I just explode in the middle of it. We're just gonna keep reading. The reward for finishing a long campaign was getting to reincarnate with no memories of it. Character relationships meant nothing. All the things we went through, and all we get is some gear out of it. I'm seeing a lot of hyphens. Now this could just be a way that the OP types. But usually hyphens in the middle of paragraphs, I mean, it is grammatically correct. But isn't that a sign of AI? Am I perhaps reading maybe yet another AI story? Or perhaps this person used to write a lot of fanfics back in the day. I have no idea. So if you guys think this is AI, well, you know what to do. But I guess I'm going to keep reading it. Because if this is AI, and they're not making anything original out of it, AI stealing and all that, blah, blah, blah. At least I'm going to try to make something original out of it. Maybe, perhaps, maybe so. Maybe I'm completely in the wrong here, but I'm going to keep reading. There were many other things that went wrong with this DM and the campaign, but to explain and list them all would be a really, really long laundry list. Yes, we did feedback, but the DMs always reacted badly even after saying he wants to hear the feedback. As to why we stuck around this long, a good number of them knew each other IRL, and so it would have been really awkward to leave early, though in my honest opinion, we should have all just left early anyways, because this finale had essentially broken any remaining trust in this DM. After 3 of us made our post to call out descending, the other 3 were just quietly upset and did not voice their upset loudly. The DM kept doubling down on how he was not wrong, defending himself and his choices, saying that everyone agreed to join this campaign and should know he likes grimdark setting and 40k. He then quotes the "it's just game, why have to be mad" meme, saying not to take D&D too seriously, despite the fact that he himself spends money to LARP his own character at local events. Seriously, it's just a game. Why do you have to? What? It's not. I mean, yeah, to a point, it is a game, but the people want to have fun and resolute endings to the end of a long campaign that they dedicated free time to, that they probably took time away from other stuff. I mean, it'd be one thing if it was like, I don't know, a bad ending, or they did something stupid and it ended that way and they were upset about it, and then it's like, yeah, sure, I mean, that's your own fault. But they literally wish for something good and you gave them a genie twist on it. Whatever. Quite frankly, for all his mess as a DM, the players are pretty cool and would have forgiven a lot of DM stumbling if he had just sincerely apologized and honored their wish and the 28 sessions this party had spent together as a team. But he did not. TLDR. Wish for "I want my allies to be safe and get what they want." Somehow that means your friends get put in purgatory and enslaved. Now that sounds like the end of the story, but it keeps going, so I'm just gonna keep reading. Other things that the DM has done, not a full list. Used a horse to hard railroad the party into a cutscene he set up, which had major consequences for the entire party. Then said things like, "Oh, why did you follow the horse, lol," as if he didn't plan the entire cutscene. Almost every location has some form of racism in some way, usually against tieflings. A couple wouldn't be an issue, but it was almost every settlement. It was constantly used to punish the only tiefling player character so that his high charisma meant nothing. His setting is pretty anti-magic and anti-non-human. I don't know if it's because the server was first a LARP group before there was a D&D server, but every other DM/player seems to want some form of silly shenanigans in the homebrew lore, e.g. the Dwarf King is Danny DeVito. Problem DM hated any form of funny lore, thinking that the funny meme lore can't also be serious lore. When Druid wild-shaped into a cat to avoid customs and immigrations in a big city, DM joked about turning the cat into food. Someone else in the party had their cat pass away just a week before. Granted, DM did not know about it at the time, but when the players put up an X card about the dead cat jokes, he did not apologize. Instead, he sent one last joke in the text chat before moving on. Harm/death to animals was also on the players' lines and veil sheets. So I was about to say, I'm like, okay, DM didn't know. He didn't know about the dead cat and all that. And then the X card, and then him not apologizing about it. Yeah, okay. What makes people stick around? Like, I get it. They knew to each other RLL, but if the stories or the campaign, I guess it is stories, is starting to get this bad, he's obviously ignoring the players' wants and respects, or what they want, or what is it called, the safety of the players, or what the players want out of the campaign. If he's just straight up ignoring it, then why even stay? I mean, this list is gonna go on, and you can't just help but to stop and be like, okay, why did they stick around? But it's way easier for us reading or listening than to actually be there in the moment. It's so much easier for us to go, oh yeah, look at all this bad stuff, why didn't they just leave earlier? When you're in there, and this could be like, we don't know the set amount of time, it's a long campaign, so it could just solely be like almost little stuff over time that the people will forget about a month later, and then something else happens, and then the people will forget, and then something else happens. So when you're in the moment, it's a lot different than just reading or listening to it. Let's continue on. One session, the players were so tired of all the railroading and traumatic experience after another that they decided to stay on the beach of an island they arrived in and have a fun beach episode, instead of what the DM intended for us, to follow NPCs to a criminal city with a combat arena, which none of us trusted in the least. So the DM ended the session and left the call. About an hour later, when we were still using the virtual room, our Rodeo, to roleplay, DM deliberately closed the scene. Oh, so he's also extremely petty too. Couldn't have seen that coming. Killed off like 90% of a PC's background story. PC had an organization tied into the backstory. Party went to find it, and oops, all dead. Does not remember the lore of PCs at his own table. I get that it's hard to remember every detail of every character on the server, but that's what notes are for. And everyone wrote character bios too, that anyone could read on the server. So, the party did not get to finish killing the BBG. This is not unique to the BBG. There have been many NPCs that the players do not get to decide the fate of, and it always happens to be NPCs the DM likes. Whenever players would be suspicious of these NPCs or want to kill them, especially so for big enemies, some NPC would magically appear to fight them instead, or insist on dealing with them themselves so that the NPC's fate would not be confirmed. DM also has a self-insert DMPC who managed to miraculously get away safely, and who he did not allow the players to maim or kill, despite the fact that the NPC in question was shown to be potentially dangerous to the party at one point, once again using other NPCs to intervene. And that is the end of the story. And I do not need to say this, I do not need to stress it, but this DM was not a good DM. If it's real, like I said, there's a lot of hyphens, and that's pretty lined up to a lot of AI text writing, okay? But I'm not going to decide that. I'm going to take this story at face value. Innocent until proven AI. But anyways, yeah, the DM is petty. The DM just wants the story to go his own way by railroading. The DM not paying attention to any of the characters' PCs. Backstories, the PC backstories. He just wants to tell his own story, and the PCs are just there to... I don't know. Why do people do that? Why do people tell these stories and then let the PCs just like play through it? Only to like make certain NPCs not die or make their choices basically insignificant and not change the story. Why even have players if you're not going to let the players even make any decisions or impact the story whatsoever? That's the whole point of playing a tabletop RPG over a single player RPG or over writing a book, is that the players get to make decisions themselves and alter the story in real time. But yeah, that ending to the long campaign is awful. And just for him to not apologize and double down and go, it's just a game, after these people committed probably a whole lot of a time. What the comments were saying, Okay, I read the comments on this one. They were saying get everybody that was in there, exclude the DM, or talk to the DM about what the DM. They obviously talked to they had a feedback and talked to the DM, and the DM didn't care. So we're on to step 2. Talking to the DM didn't work. Get everyone else together and exclude the DM and just rerun the campaign and create a nice epilogue where the wish actually did work, and you guys as characters can all have proper send-offs to the end of this long campaign and just make that the head canon instead. But I don't know how a Westmarch server works. That's just what the comment said, and to me, that sounds like a pretty good deal. It's not even my advice anymore. It's your guys' advice. It's a comment's advice. It's a... I don't know. I'm just a speaker. So, interpret the situation as it is, and sometimes you might be able to, exclude the person that everyone agreeably doesn't like, or if something happens, you can always retcon it and just not have the DM and write it your own way. It seems like it works here, so that's what we're going with. Now let's see. Do I have time for another one? I think I do. I think we're going to end this off on a very short story. So, let's move into it. Our last story comes from Low Yogurt Closet 323. My DM punishes the players for his balancing mistakes. For context, I'm a Githzari Sai warrior, level 4, and recently I found a Githyanki war sword buried in a blacksmith sash and thought it was a normal sword. It's a strong weapon, 1d8 slashing plus 3d8 psi. We went on and proceeded with our quest to kill a corrupt king. During the fight, I dealt 28 damage, and as a consequence, sent 20 magic missiles to kill a player. Post-session, he admitted he killed the player to raise the stakes, and that he needed to do something because we were going to win too soon. We won the fight, and it took a few sessions for that player to get a new character introduced. Later down the line, when we hit level 4, we fought a homebrew monster of his creation. I hit it and was about to deal 34 damage, and he said it had a legendary action to dodge. I was a little frustrated because he waited for the damage to come through first, but I can understand why he did that, so I didn't make a big deal. But as we proceeded to destroy this monster, he tried doing the same thing, killing the player outright. The reason that they didn't go down was because I blocked some damage for them, and I said to him, "Dude, don't punish the players for being too good." And he replied, "I can do whatever I want." I said nothing. Recently, his NPC was revealed to be a murderer, and we wanted to take revenge for the 8 victims. He told us it could be a later thing, but we wanted to find him right away. We found nothing, and the trial went cold. I'm frustrated because he's tried killing 2 players. I mean, he didn't try. He literally killed 1 player, and he was about to kill another player, but, save it. Because he didn't balance the weapon he decided to give us. And he's not even targeting me because I have the weapons. He's straight up singling out players and penalizing them. He's fudging rolls, but that's small compared to everything else I feel. Me and my party feel a little annoyance towards him for this, and I personally wanted to know if we were overreacting. Edit, we are running Curse of Shroud with a new DM. Well, hey, it sounds like they did the right thing, and they moved on from that DM to a new DM, and hopefully they run Curse of Shroud right. I don't want to see this user again with a Curse of Shroud horror story, so please, let's hope the DM is actually good. But about this DM, the problem here, well, obviously, he gave an overpowered weapon that he didn't think about the time was going to be that I mean, how do you not think this was going to be overpowered? It's a D8 and it does 3d8. That's spell damage. That's, what is it? That's a shatter damage, and it's psi damage, which a lot of creatures in the game probably don't have resistance to psi damage. I guess, I don't know, is psi damage different from force? I have no idea, but here's the thing about magic items, everybody. If you get something out to your players and they use it for one session, let them keep it for that session unless it's a pretty big session. I mean, you can make nerfs on the spot really easily. Like, most of the time, you can make them super easy. But here's the thing. They did one session and he punished another player by killing them outright. No death saves, just straight up killing them. And they had to go and build a new character. No wonder these guys left, by the way. I mean, seriously? Like, you're not going to balance your own weapon? And that's not even balancing it. That's not even the right form of balancing. Why are you going to, again, like OP said, why are you going to punish someone else for what you failed to do? Just take the sword and just talk with the player. And most of the time, the players are going to be agreeable. And if not, well, then you found yourself another player to get rid of, I guess. This is definitely the DM's fault for for giving out an overpowered weapon. At the same time, if the first time he killed someone and then it sent 20 magic missiles, why would you think about using the sword again? Like, I'm not trying to blame OP, but if the first time you used the sword and the sword did a bunch of damage and then it killed another player, why would you then use it again and be like, oh, wow, he tried to kill another player because I used his sword? Again, the DM's in the wrong, but I mean... whatever, it's a funny situation, but yeah, they did the right thing. Cut ties with the DM. I mean, again, going back to the comments, someone said they have a player versus DM mentality. Again, I always say, talk it out, you know, people can't get better if they don't know that they're doing something wrong. So if you know that they're doing something wrong, hopefully they would want to try and fix it. But oh yeah, I guess they did try to talk to him and didn't work, so I guess at the end of the day, no D&D is better than bad D&D, so they just left and found a new DM that's hopefully, like I said, hopefully they are good. And that will be all the stories for us today. What did you guys think? What would you have done differently? All that, put it in the comments, let me know. And let's thank our OPs for posting these stories for me to read. And I want to thank you guys for making it this far into the video. So thank you for watching. Leave a like, share it even, all that wonderful stuff. And I don't have anything else to say. If you can't tell, it's getting hot again. I hope you gobs have a lob of a day. May your adventures be chill, cool, cold. I don't know any more synonyms for cold. Get out of here.